Massive drug bust in Durban this afternoon. Paint containers filled with cocaine estimated to be worth well over 70 million rand have been seized. The drugs came from Brazil. The SAPS-led operation was a collaborative effort that included intelligence from abroad. Dasen Thathiah, our senior reporter, is on the ground for us. Good afternoon again, Dasen. Tell us more about this drug bust of this cocaine from Brazil.
Well, Braden, that scene is still being processed as we speak. So what's happened here is that after that bust was made at the Durban Harbour, all of those drugs were then transported to the warehouse behind me. So we were told that we aren't really allowed to show that warehouse or anything beyond the drugs because it has nothing to do with that bust. But the purposes of it being here is obviously to look through all of the paint cans that were found, as well as to count and I guess to put a value on the blocks of cocaine that were found to have come from Brazil. So what was interesting about this particular bust is how criminals are finding more and more creative ways to bring these drugs into the country. And beyond that, Durban and its port is being used as an avenue, a conduit really, to get these drugs to other places, to Gauteng, to other countries and so on. And this particular case was no different. So police were at pains to stress to us that this is an investigation that they are still busy with. In fact, they have been busy with it for a few months now. And they say that it is because of that intelligence and because of that collaboration between themselves, such as the SAPS and the Hawks, but also international authorities, that they were able to make this bust. So although they haven't been able to give us an exact figure, they have put it at over 70 million and somewhere between 70 million rand and 80 million rand. So that's what we're looking at, with the National Police Commissioner pointing out that one of those blocks could be at least R1 million, if not more. Let's listen to part of that conversation that I had with General Fani Masimula around this issue of the drug bust.
Well, this is a South African Police Service intelligence-led operation, which our intelligence, working with other intelligence of other countries abroad, they discovered this, they work on it more than 2 months ago, and the culmination is that the recovery of this cocaine, which has been planted inside paint, with paint in it, and yeah, we have discovered it. We are still investigating, we are following up leads.
So, Dasen, we heard from the police that this cocaine came from Brazil. Two questions in mind for me this hour. Do the police know the route was used to get it to Durban? And also, do they have any idea at this early stage to where it was headed in the country?
So those are some of the questions that we'd also asked the National Police Commissioner, because that's a matter of interest really, particularly if Durban and its port is being used for these purposes. So while they were clear on where it originated, where it was going to, there were several possibilities with that, but one of those was also Gauteng. So this route and how it came through here is interesting, because the other question that we need to ask is who was it going to? Not just the place, but which people were supposed to receive these drugs. As of now, there's been no arrest in this matter yet, but that will now form part of the investigation, because I think that's a crucial aspect of a find like this. When you find these drugs, you have to know who packed those drugs, who put it onto the ship, who brought it here, for what purpose was it brought here, and ultimately where would it have been distributed. So in that conversation we had with the National Police Commissioner, this is what he had to say when we asked him about that.
It comes from Brazil. It's destined to gain South Africa. Of course, it will be spread to inland provinces, and looks like it's a route that they quite use quite often, and for distribution in especially Gauteng and Western Cape are the major consumers. So yeah, that's what we detect. Even the address where it was destined to is in Gauteng province. So from there probably it will be processed and spread across the country. But we are quite happy for members of South African Police Service to do such a big drug bust.
That's National Police Commissioner General Fani Masimula there, speaking to Dasen Thathiah a little bit earlier. More investigation, obviously, is underway in this big cocaine bust. About between 70 and 80 million rands worth, apparently, of cocaine from Brazil being seized at the Durban Harbour.